signed a bunch of shit, said I can't tell you what I saw and stuff, but I'll kind of work around it to tell you what was there. What was there, honestly, was absolute magic. And I was lucky enough to get invited to the set of a sequel to a movie that when I was a kid, I was absolutely in love with. Those movies defined my childhood and stuff. So I was on the set, I saw costumes, I saw, you know, artillery and shit like that. I saw things that, you know, I loved as a kid. It was interesting, man. I was walking across the set and I was like, this is great. He's getting it so right. Like, all the elements were right. It looked like J.J. Abrams had the best set of Star Wars figures ever and was making the best possible movie one could. They get me to stage M, they open up the doors, I walk onto the door, a set of stage M is dark, but you can see there's something fucking huge there and whatnot. There's a guy, British guy, because it's all in England where they're shooting, right? British guy whose job to watch the set. And he goes, do you want me to turn on the lights? And he turns on the lights, and it's not just the lights, you know, on the stage. All of a sudden I see a giant set, and what's the lights he means are the lights inside of what looks like from the outside, the Millennium Falcon. So I'm looking at it going, that's real cool. And Morgan goes, do you want to walk on it? And I go, oh fuck, yeah, absolutely. What a kick that'd be, man. And I take one step on that platform. That same platform that when I was a kid, I had a small version of this fucking shit that was like my best friend in the world. I slept with it and hugged it. So there I am, first step on the ramp. And I swear to God, you know, I'm 43 years old. In about a month or so, less than a month, I'm gonna be 44. With my first step, my 40s disappeared. And then with my next step, I was deep into my early 30s and shit. And suddenly Cop Out disappeared. What a better world it was. Then I took another step and I was in my 20s, circa Clerks and shit. When I first got into filmmaking, I was like, oh yeah, this could be cool. And I'll never make Star Wars, but like, I could make a movie too, and blah, blah, blah. And then the next step I take, man, I'm out of my 20s, I'm in my teenage years. And then one more step, ladies and gentlemen, on the ramp of the Millennium Falcon, and I was 7 years old again. Fat little Kevin Smith, 7 years old, watching a movie called Star Wars and falling in love, starting a lifelong love affair that triggered my imagination. And I stood there feeling like a fucking kid, and I promise you, this is a true story, I swear to God, I was hit with a gut punch of emotion, and you know my gut's big, so the punch was massive. And I started crying. I just welled up, my eyes got glassy, and I just got emotional, and I just started crying. Not in a blubbery, like, way, but in a really like, holy fuck, like breathless, you know, absolutely could not believe what I was doing. Fuck the fact that I was like, oh, I'm standing on a set of the Millennium Falcon. I was on the Millennium Falcon. And it was so emotional, I start crying, and Morgan's standing next to me as assistant, and this poor girl's looking at me like, awkward. This fat man's having a midlife crisis on the Millennium Falcon. And you know, she sees me welling up and she's like, aw, and I was like, sorry. And she's like, most people get excited when they see it. And I was like, this is beyond exciting. We get to the set, I give JJ the world's biggest fucking hug, and I thanked him from the bottom of my heart, because I was just like, you gave me that opportunity to do that, to dial back my clock. You made me believe in movie magic again. You literally built the Millennium Falcon, dude. You're doing it. You are building the field of dreams, and if JJ builds it, we're all gonna come. So it was wonderful, man. I saw old friends who are never really friends, but are people and characters that I love more dearly than blood relatives of mine, man. I saw shit that I haven't seen since I saw those movies a long time ago, man. I saw weapons that fucking, I saw some shit. And I want to tell you so much. But anyway, but it was beautiful, it was emotional, and if he captures 1% of what I went through on the Millennium Falcon on the screen, which I've seen, he showed me a fucking scene cut together, he's already fucking got it. I said, you're gonna make $1 billion. This is the highest grossing movie of all time, dude, because it is a direct doorway to our childhood. Like, it's gonna take people back. What he's doing is so important. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's making that movie that we're all like, oh man, I hope episodes 1, 2, and 3 are that movie. And I like episodes 1, 2, and 3. I'm not shitting in his mouth. But I'm telling you, what I saw of episode 7, the few scant moments I saw of episode 7, he's already fucking making what to me is the sequel to, not Return of the Jedi, ladies and gentlemen, Empire Strikes Back. It feels that strong. Yeah. So anybody out there going like, oh, I hope he doesn't fuck it up, he's not gonna fuck it up. He's really crushing it and shit.